Okay, let's try to solve these problems. We have the first one with 4x over x minus 2 plus 2 over x equals 5. I left some space here so I can simplify the fractions. I'm going to multiply everything by x minus 2x. So to simplify those fractions, you need to multiply by the common denominator. In this case, the common denominator is x minus 2. And then I'm going to multiply here by x minus 2 and multiply also x by x minus 2 here. And you notice from my first step here that the x minus 2 will cancel. So this x minus 2, this x minus 2 will cancel. I end up only with x times 4x, which is 4x squared. On my second one, the x and the x will cancel. I'm end up with 2 times x minus 2. So from the second one, I end up with 2 times x minus 2. And of course, the right-hand side, I have to multiply 5x by x and by negative 2. So I'll get 5x squared minus 10x. Okay, so that would be my simplifying the denominator. So I'm going to make sure here x does not equal to 2 or x does not equal to 0, because if x equals 2, this becomes 0, a number over 0 undefined. If x equals 0 also, this becomes a 0, a number over 0 undefined. So we want to make sure the final answer does not equal 2 or 0. Okay, here we're gonna try to move everything to the right hand side. If you subtract 4x squared, also here you have 2x, so let's subtract 2x, and we have a minus 4. Let's add 4. So all I'm doing here, I'm moving everything to the right. So I'm going to subtract negative 2x and add 4. Okay, so here as you notice, the 4x squared minus 4x squared will cancel, the 2x and the minus 2x will cancel, the negative 4 and the 4 will cancel, and this would be my 0. 5x squared minus 4x squared is just an x squared, and negative 10, negative 2 is negative 12x, and a plus 4. Okay, so this would be my quadratic equation. I cannot factor this one. There is no number I multiply by each other to give me 4, and the sum is negative 12. So let's go ahead and do the quadratic formula for this. This would be minus b, which would be plus 12, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 12 squared, 144, minus 4 times AC, which is 4 times 4, and that's 16. The whole thing should be over 2a, which is 2. If I simplify here, I get 12 plus or minus 144 minus 16 is the square root of, this would be 8, and this would be 2, and that would be 128 over 2. I can simplify one more time. As you know, the 128 is going to be equal to 2 times 64, and 64 is a perfect square. It goes out as an 8, so this would be 12 plus or minus 8 square root of 2 over 2. One more step here. What is 12 over 2 is 6, and what is 8 over 2 is 4 square root of 2. So that would be the final answer. And of course, none of them is 2 or 0, so this would be the final answer for this. Okay, let me try to solve the second one here at the same time. I'm going to go to a new page. This way I can use that whole page. Let's work this problem now. Again, this problem, we need to simplify the fractions first. As you notice here, if you factor this x squared minus 4x, you get x plus 5, x minus 1, which is factoring the x squared plus 4x minus 5. The product is negative 5, and the sum is 4. So let's multiply everything by x plus 5, x minus 1. So multiply everything by x plus 5, x minus 1. On the first one, as you notice here, if you multiply here, the x plus 5 will cancel. This x plus 5 and this x plus 5, and we end up with x times x minus 1 plus. On the second factor here, the x minus 1 will cancel, and this would be 5 times x plus 5. And of course, on the last step, everything will cancel. The x plus 5 with the x plus 5, the x minus 1 with the x minus 1, and we end up with 31 x minus 1. Okay, on this one, I'm going to move everything to the left-hand side, and I'm going to multiply first. So this would be x squared minus x plus 5x plus 25 equals 31x minus 1. Move everything to one side, subtract 31x, and then add 1. So we're going to add 1 and subtract 31x. That would give me an x squared is the only one with x squared. Here I have a negative x, a 5x, and a negative 31. So this would be negative 32 plus 5 would be negative 27x. And then plus 26 equal to 0. Okay, so negative 31, negative x is negative 32x, these two, and then plus 5, it would be negative 27x. Now we have a product of 26, a sum of negative 27. That's easy. It would be x negative 26 and x negative 1 equals 0. My final answer is x equals 26, x equals 1. I cannot have 1 because guess what? If I go back here and put x equals 1, a number over 0 is undefined. So the only solution would be x equals 26. Okay, that would be the only solution here, x equals 26 as my final solution. Okay, good luck.